system. We absolutely love it. Now, over a century ago, a Welsh aviator almost got himself into the history books before his wings were cruelly clipped by what else? Well, the Welsh weather.
Well, now it's down to a modern-day Merlin to make his dreams finally take flight.
The era of those magnificent men in their flying machines. The creators of a form of travel that would change the lives of everyone on the planet. Sometimes balmy, sometimes brilliant, these men were always brave. I've come to the valleys of South Wales to find out how just a little bit of that old world magic is set to come back to life. Legend has it that but for a fateful storm, Pontycummer could have been famous not just for its collieries, but for inventor Christopher Carlyon. It was 1904. 1 year after the Wright brothers' famous first powered flight, that this 17-year-old colliery carpenter started working on his own innovative glider design. Here, halfway up the hillside, is where Christopher Carlyon built his shed, and in that shed, he started to piece together his glider. The plan was to use the gravitational force rolling the glider down the hill, and then to take off over Pontycummer all the way to the other side of the valley. This is him sitting in his aeroplane. It took him 6 years to perfect his design, and it was nearly ready for its first recorded flight when disaster struck. It was a storm, a fierce westerly far worse than today, that turned the plane and the shed to splinters. And that's where Christopher Carlyon's dream of flight died. His plane was never rebuilt. But that's something inventor Merlin Maddock MBE is about to change.
Good afternoon, sir.
Are you Merlin of Merlin's Magic Workshop?
Yeah, I could be him.
Hello Merlin, good to see you. I'm Joe. For the last 3 years, he's been painstakingly, and you could say obsessively, building models of Carlyon's glider.
I'm doing this to get Christopher Carlyon recognition for the marvellous work that he did in building a plane that should have flown.
This was a 17-year-old lad. He had no real experience of aeronautics or flying. Could his design actually have worked?
That's my job. That's my job, is to make it and see if it would have flown. Behind me you can see the actual 8-foot model, which is working. A working model. Everything operates completely now, and I intend to build it full size. It's only 22 foot, it's not massive.
So your hunch is this thing could actually take to the air?
Definitely. People call me an eccentric. Well, the definition of an eccentric is a man who has an abundance of normality. So I'm slightly more normal than other people.
It's all been made possible by collaborating with Christopher Carlyon's son, Raiden, who lost his dad when he was just 7.
I told Merlin that I had slides. So if you could have a look at that.
Oh, wow. Goodness, that's actually the plane. That's your father sitting in the plane.
That is the plane, yes. When I showed Merlin, he was ecstatic.
And that's what he's been working on.
All his work has come off the slides.
So this is a real treasure trove.
It is. I think my father was before his time. Today, I suppose, you've got to think of a person making a rocket now to go to the moon, because that's how far-fetched it was for somebody to fly.
And how do you feel about the possibility your father's dream might now be realised?
Extremely proud.
You just have to look round Merlin's workshop to see he's no stranger to unusual engineering projects, and he has over 20 registered patents to his name. But it's Christopher Carlyon's design that's got him fired up. So Merlin, you built this incredibly impressive model. What's so special about his design, his modifications as you call them?
Well, he had this idea of operating the ailerons by the joystick there.
So he would have sat here in the front?
Sat in the front there and comfortably in the seat there, where he could operate both seas, left and right, and then operate a foot pedal, and then he could operate the rudder with his feet.
Are you going to don the Biggles glasses? Are you going to be the one in the pilot's seat?
I'll be one of them, but I don't intend to fly this up high. To be 4, 6 or 10 foot off the ground and fly for 100 yards using the mechanism. That is the secret. Well, if the mechanism works, I'll be the happiest man in the world.
Well, let's hope that he keeps flying, smiling even. Merlin hopes to have the plane flying by the end of the year, and of course we will be there, won't we, for the first flight. Let's keep everything crossed and everything goes okay.
But it's a brilliant premise for a film, isn't it? That VT then. You could play Merlin, Nigel.
I could play Merlin.
Would that be a character that would appeal?
Yes. Pretty much every character appeals to me.
What is it, the postman's actor, I heard that you said?